friends, welcome to this class. So we're going to paint this meadow, and I want you to first grab a pencil so we can draw a horizon line. So how much space do you want to dedicate to the sky is up to you. I'm kind of gonna go like maybe like halfway, almost not halfway quite, but it kind of goes, it's floppy a little bit, maybe like this. We do have like some trees. I feel like I'm gonna put trees on one side, just on this side. And then we have these beautiful flowers. So some purple flowers, and then the beautiful sky. So the idea is to not get caught in all these details, and let's just paint it loosely and wet on wet. So the first thing to do is to wet the paper. So I'm gonna grab a larger brush for this. This is my flat 24 Songbird. And I'm gonna grab clean water and begin wetting the paper. Looks like a sunset scene. So I don't see highlights. I don't see any highlights in this one. So wet it for a while. Make sure your color palette is ready to go right when you're ready to start applying colors wet on wet. So keep wetting. This is the back side of the collection, cold pressed, by the way, the paper. That's because the back side is actually has more texture than the front side. The front side is like hot pressed. Hot pressed does not work well for landscapes, at least in my opinion. So I always look for paper that has texture. Sometimes I go for a rough watercolor paper, the collection, but it's just the paint spreads a lot more and it's really harder to control everything. You can still control it, but it's just the thing is that things just move super fast. I do paint animals on the rough a lot of times when I need more texture. A little more water and I'm pretty ready here. We're gonna start with the sky. So I am gonna grab my flat 3/4 brush, golden 2. I'm gonna start with the blue tones. This is my cobalt blue here. I'm just gonna move it a little bit. Quinacridone red, cobalt blue again, quinacridone red. I could even grab like some other blues that I have to clean up my palette. This is like the manganese blue Nova, but only because I already have it on my palette. Would I squeeze the paint otherwise? No, I wouldn't. So, and then more of that cobalt blue, even phthalo blue and quinacridone red. The bottom part, we can tell like it's more purple-ish. That's when you know, okay, I need to add more red to my blue. Whatever blue you're using, you just want to add more of that blue. I'm sorry, more of that red. What am I talking about? More red to your blue. Now, this is more like it was more like a milk-like ratio, but now I'm kind of feeling like I need to get less and less water mixed with my paint. So it feels more like a half and half and not much paint overall in my brush. I'm gonna grab more of the red, just like I see it in the reference, like where I see the more red, that's where I'm gonna apply it. I feel like I should use actually for this a different brush a little bit. I'm gonna use my quill, regular quill too, my Songbird quill, and it's gonna be the red that I was using plus blue, but also a little bit of yellow. We do see some yellow in these clouds, maybe even more of the yellow. Over here. I could use the ochre as well. Not a bad idea. Just whatever you want to add some of that toward the clouds, and then plus that blue because the clouds need shadows. So on the bottom of that, you want to grab a little bit of that blue just to make it darker. Now I do want to make it even more like intense on the bottom, but now I can't just grab like a heavy cream, water to milk like ratio or half and half. It has to be more like a heavy cream to even cream top, just on the bottom. I wipe my brush on a towel. I do that whenever I feel like I have too much water. And then I'm gonna keep moving down. And for that, I'm gonna grab my flat 3/4 brush, golden 2. Let's start with this sap green, some yellow. Now this needs to be more like a heavy cream. Why is that? It's because all this is super wet. So I'm actually wiping my brush on a towel. If I bring milk-like ratio right away here, everything will just come up. And it might come up, but not as much. Now somewhere here in the middle, I need to add flowers. But first I want more yellow, maybe some even Van Dyke brown or burnt sienna, that would be nice. Now keep thinking about that ratio between water and paint. You don't want too much water in that paint because everything will just go up toward the sky. This is some quinacridone red, more like a heavy cream. And I do need to add that purple. So this is the actually Oprah and bright violet. And I do need to come back here for the flowers. What I'm gonna do is grab my round 8, golden 2, and both of these pretty colors, so Oprah and bright violet. And then whatever I want to add these flowers, that's where I'm gonna apply the 2. Somewhere here. Of course, the ones like in the foreground would be larger than the ones in the background, so we have to think about the perspective. More of a paint. This was more like a heavy cream. This is like a cream top now because we do have flowers there too. Just to add some flowers there. So smaller flowers in the background and then way larger here in the foreground. So I'm going to clean this brush, the round 8, and now go for Evita's Long Yellow and sap green, heavy cream like ratio between water and paint, something heavier. Why? Because the paper is too dry at this moment. Like it's still shiny wet, but if I go with water to milk like ratio, everything will just spread. I have to make sure I have a lot of control, and that's one of the way to do it. This is heavy cream. Now, how about the shadows, right? Let's grab this heavy cream of quinacridone red, sap green, and some blue, and go right underneath these flowers in a way. Actually, let's add it also here in the background. Should be a little darker there. Same colors again, and then just shadows. Can't forget about shadows. What we really need is more of the green, or I need at least right here. So something like this. Now let's not forget about our trees. I'm just gonna quickly clean the brushes. So I want you to grab a smaller brush. This is my round 3, Songbird Details. Grab creamy paint. This is sap green and some of the Van Dyke brown. And just little dots, even blue, add some blue to it. Creamy version of this. Looks like the branches are like this a little bit. Something in the field there, right? If it's too creamy, like the paint does not move much, or like not move much, well, we don't want it to move too much. But if it feels like just too creamy, too heavy, like not, transparent enough, doesn't feel right, just increase the amount of water in your brush. So go for like a heavy cream like ratio between water and paint. And you kind of dubbing on it like very quickly with the tip of your brush. You can use like a mop brush. There's so many different brushes that you can use. What we could do is just add like a little fence. I was just thinking maybe like in the background or something. Maybe something like that to show like it's like part of the pasture or something. Well, whatever it is, I added something. And then we can also add some birds in the background. But that's pretty much it. If I want more shadows like here, then this is with my round 3 brush. Just for the stems, again, creamy paint, so cream top-like ratio between water and paint. And you're just adding it right underneath some of these flowers. And that's it for this painting, unless we're going for some birds. All right, so I'm gonna remove the washi. Thank you so much for your time, and please let me know if you have any questions.